Hi! Today I wanted to talk to you about the inspiration behind wherever you go. Inspiration, maybe the right word is obsession, because that's where it kind of started for me. Back before I even started writing, I was really obsessed with going to Italy. It was my biggest dream. I wanted it so much that I started to study the language. I started to save my freelance earnings towards this one-day trip. I started to watch Italian movies and read books that were set in Italy. And then I started to experiment with Italian cooking. Not just Aussie kind of lasagna and things like that. No, I wanted to cook authentic Italian cooking. I even went so far as to get a book from the library that was all in Italian, a recipe book, and I had to translate 3 recipes and cook those 3 recipes, and I did it. It was pretty hard. It took me a while, a lot of effort for cooking some risotto and that kind of thing, but I did it and I was really proud of it. And that led to me wanting to cook French food and cooking Greek food and Middle Eastern food, and it always had to be a feast. I would spend the entire afternoon cooking and preparing for this meal for my family, and then I'd set it up on the table with candles, and I had to have the right music. Everything had to be just so. So you get where that word obsession comes from, right? And the thing is, really, my family kind of made fun of me, but they didn't mind so much because they were getting the food, right? It was pretty good trade-off for them. Like, mum's obsessed with going to Italy and keeps on looking up places on the internet, but we get to eat really, really good food. So I remembered this when I started writing Wherever You Go, because Amy, as a chef, she's lost her passion when she starts the story. When you first meet her, she doesn't really want to cook. She remembers the days of themed dinners and things like that, and remembers having this passion for food. But when it first starts, she doesn't really have that. She cooks to survive. Sometime through the novel, it comes to her that she might like to try cooking for some friends again. And so she forms the Around the World Supper Club, and it starts with this Italian feast, and the guests come along. There's a blackboard, and it's got the menu written up on it all in Italian, and of course Irene, who comes along to it, she can't speak Italian, so she has no idea what they're going to eat. And there's Italian music, and there's books about Italy scattered around, and the whole thing kind of sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? It's really me just putting my dream of what I would have liked to do, and even better than I could actually manage it, into my book. And so that's how the Around the World Supper Club started, with an Italian feast. And then more people got invited along and more feasts happened. And these feasts are times of community and of friendship, and sometimes there's conflict, there's things going on behind the scenes that while they're eating, the people are thinking about other things that are happening to them in their life. And we find out more about that as the novel goes on. But that is how I was inspired to write the Around the World Supper Club into my book. It all goes back to me really, really wanting to go to Italy, and I still haven't been there. I still really, really want to go, and I plan to go there someday. I hope you enjoyed today's little inspiration chat, and next week I'll talk to you a little bit more about Wherever You Go.